Hello, welcome back to GameSpot's coverage of E3 2015. This is day one, would you believe? I wouldn't believe it because it seems like we've had 2 days of incredible announcements from software developers, from publishers, from hardware manufacturers, and one of those hardware manufacturers' corporeal form is in front of us right now. It's ridiculous. Aaron Greenberg, thank you so much for coming on and talking to us. I see you've got a little pouch there.
I do have a little pouch
Let's leave
here.
that for a second. We'll talk about it
It's
in
a little
little
Easter egg here.
A lot of people on social media going crazy about what Sony revealed yesterday. You guys had a really solid show first thing in the morning. It's obviously
Yes.
always hardest to go first. But in terms of, I guess, what's coming out this year,
Yeah.
it seems like there's a lot of stuff happening on Xbox. There's a lot of exclusive games happening as well. Was that a focus for you guys?
Absolutely. I mean, for us, we have what we think is the greatest games lineup in the history of Xbox, and we've been working really hard to kind of bring this together this particular year, and we know people have been waiting for things like Halo 5. We know people have been waiting for Gears of War to come back. We also have Tomb Raider coming exclusively this holiday. We have a new Fable. We have Forza Motorsport 6. We have Gigantic. We have 7 with Rare Replay as well. We have 7 exclusive games all coming this holiday. Frankly, we've never had that type of lineup ever before. And so for us, how do we fit it all into one briefing? And frankly, you saw we had a lot of games and franchises people want to see that we're even saving to Gamescom because we just ran out of time.
Yeah, you're right. Scalebound wasn't here. The guys from Remedy, I know,
Yes.
have had to sit on it for a little while.
Scalebound, Crackdown, Quantum Break, even some other surprises. We're going to save those for Gamescom as we kind of shift our focus to 2016. But for E3 for us, it's really about the 2015 games lineup and all the big exclusives we're bringing this holiday.
Let's talk about your big cheese. We're looking at it right now. Halo 5 Guardians, obviously hotly anticipated. The main franchise when it comes to Xbox, what people think about. I was watching this presentation, and at times it felt like what you guys were doing was out Destinying Destiny. It sort of felt like that, that like co-op online experience that I guess we sort of now associate with Destiny because that's what people have been playing recently. What do you think is the core focus for Halo? Because obviously it's expanded so big into so many different types of game modes. When you're showing that game off, what do you really want to sort of sell?
Well, it's definitely the most ambitious Halo title 343 has ever gone off to make. And people, I think, expected us to show campaign for the first time. But to be able to reveal that you can play both as Spartan Locke, also play as Master Chief, the fact that it is 4-player co-op, but it's true drop-in, drop-out 4-player co-op. At any moment in time, you can instantly drop in. If a friend comes in for 10 minutes and drops out, they're instantly replaced by AI. The campaign design is made for that. This whole sort of hunter versus hunted sort of tension we've been playing up between Chief and Locke, and we're going to reveal more of that as we get closer to kind of getting deeper into the story. And then we showed, people know we're bringing the traditional Halo multiplayer with the arena style, more competitive, esports focused. But the big new innovation, the big new hottest is Warzone. And so the team really invested a lot in multiplayer with this release, and 4 times bigger than any other Halo map ever made. The fact you're going to have massive 12v12, blue team versus red team. They're going to be tons of weapons, tons of vehicle. There's AI in there. I mean, it's just these massive scale multiplayer. We've never seen this before from Halo. And so a lot of innovation we're really excited about.
Yeah, it looks very exciting. I know a lot of people on GameSpot.com are freaking out about that. Can't wait to get their hands on it. I want to talk to you about Rare for a little bit because it seemed for a while there that Microsoft wasn't really doing right by what Rare was. And this year it very much seems like you've sort of, in the way that Sony have taken some franchises and said, okay, you know what? You can have it. With this Rare collection, you're taking 30 of the best Rare games. Some very popular ones aren't there. GoldenEye, for instance, isn't in there. But was this something you felt like you needed to do with Rare?
I was able to work with Rare from the original when they first pitched us the concept, and it's been a labor of love for them. I mean, this is their 30th anniversary, and it's very rare to have a developer that has that type of rich heritage. And they had hundreds and hundreds of games, and we went through the whole catalog and really lovingly thought about how do we take this collection from Battletoads to Blast Corps to Jetpack
Perfect
to
Dark.
Perfect Dark. I'm an old RC Pro-Am fan from the old school arcade.
Did I see Viva Pinata in there somewhere?
Yes,
as well?
you did. And so the N64 Conquer, Banjos in there. I mean, it's 30 great games, and probably some games you maybe even played. And so to be able to take that 30-year history, to bring it together in a collection that people can play. And we're delivering it 30 games for $30.
Yeah,
I think it's a great value. And the other thing is we said, nobody ever releases video games during the summer. Like, why not? We're out of school, you know, we see people, a lot of people are on Xbox Live, so the first week of August, time to the Gamescom, we're releasing the title, and so we'll give gamers some, 30 new games to play and 10,000 gamer score points to unlock as well.
You are kidding me. $30 for 10,000 gamer. Oh,
that may be the best ROI on gamer score ever.
That's even better than that Avatar game I only bought for the points. Let's talk about VR and AR for a second. Obviously, you guys were involved in what Oculus showed off last week. Announcing a partnership with Steam as well this time around. And of course, HoloLens, a very good presentation. Microsoft are obviously throwing in with their own thing with Morpheus. You guys seem to be spreading the risk a little bit. Where do you think Microsoft lies when it comes to this technology? Because at the moment it seems like you've got fingers in a couple of pies.
Sure. I mean, we're really excited about what's happening with VR and mixed reality and all that. So for us, we see this as early days. This is pioneering, really a lot of innovation is happening. I don't think people quite know exactly how this is all going to turn out.
Yeah.
We want to support and give consumers as much choice as possible. We don't want to bet on only one technology, one solution right now. And frankly, the beauty of building on the Windows 10 infrastructure is that whether it's on Xbox One, whether it's HoloLens, or whether it's working with folks like Oculus or Valve, we stream Xbox One games to your Windows 10 PC. Oculus Rift is another great display for that. We'll be working with Valve and their VR solution on that. We're bundling the Xbox One controller with every Oculus Rift. So just supporting VR and mixed reality in multiple different ways. And then you saw with what we're doing with HoloLens is that we're innovating in that world where we're taking your real world environment and mixing that with with holographic elements. And I think Minecraft was a great example of kind of seeing that come to life. And frankly, that was one of my favorite parts of the briefing.
It was probably one of the best versions of selling that type of technology to people, or at least showing them, because the problem with, we have a massive problem in terms of video coverage here on GameSpot, trying to show people how cool VR is.
Yeah.
So for a presentation, to the way you guys shot this, I think really helped. One piece of technology we didn't see at all mentioned was Kinect, though. Obviously, there's a Kinectless version of Xbox One now. Are you guys done with Kinect?
We are absolutely continuing to support Kinect, but we're innovating with Kinect in a different way. I mean, we're bringing a lot more features to life. So we announced a new Xbox One experience. That will include Cortana, so you'll be able to have voice commands, building more intelligence into that. But we really want Kinect to be a choice for customers. For me, I love it. I turn my Xbox on with Kinect. I use it for entertainment. I use it to do screenshots and and all that. I like to be able to have a hands-on controller and use voice commands. But frankly, a lot of people also want a better value and don't want to have to pay for it. So we're not going to force people to do that. We give people the choice. And so we're continuing to support Kinect where it makes sense.
Cool. Speaking of controllers, what's this other thing you got here?
Yes.
That's what I'm guessing anyway.
It is. By the way, our new Elite Wireless, this is the actual case that it comes in.
Nice.
So, we really care a lot about our controllers, spend a lot of time on the Xbox One controller, but we have...
you drop $150 on a controller, at least you should get is a case.
Fair enough, yes. But we have a lot of pro gamers that play on Xbox One today, and we worked with them and got a lot of their feedback on designing what we think is the best controller, frankly, that we've ever made. And so, even before you get into the functionality, just how beautiful the chrome finish, just how beautiful this controller looks. It's really solid. Hold it, give it a feel.
Oh yeah, it's super solid. Oh, I like these guys.
Yeah, so we've got the paddles in the back. These are all mapped to the A, B, X, Y buttons. You can pull them out. You can customize, fully customizable. What programmers told us is that we have typically looser triggers for things like Forza, but if you're playing Halo and you want the hairpin, it'll tighten up just with a flick of a switch.
That was my one. Oh yeah, super clicky there.
Yeah, so faster. Faster shooting with the hairpin triggers.
That was actually because I'm a massive car game fan, and that in Forza having that ability to do that was fantastic. But it is a bit of an issue when you're just trying to.
And then you can customize and program every single button, and then making the D-pad even better. But if you said, hey, I wanted the traditional D-pad, you simply take this out, and then you put this in. It's just a magnetic drop-in.
Oh, wow.
You want to just get a different size. All of this is swappable. You say FPS, you want a taller one here.
Goodness.
You want a rounder one here.
People want tall ones on the left? Really?
Some people like that.
Man, I'm no esports. I can't.
And so the nice thing is you can customize it all. You can have hundreds of different profiles. You can even in-game switch from one profile to the other.
Oh, wow.
So it's a pretty exciting device.
Sorry, I'm super selfish. I just want to play it a little bit.
And you're right, it is the price of 2 controllers, but you get a true pro controller, and it's an elite product that we're really excited about.
Excellent. When is this actually going to be available?
We're taking pre-orders now, but it launches this holiday.
Awesome.
And it does come with the case.
Yeah. I got a bunch more questions about
Absolutely.
the Microsoft conference.
Yeah.
But also, I just want to ask your opinion. Sony yesterday had a pretty stellar conference of their own, obviously showing off a bunch of game people were very excited about the Last Guardian, seeing Final Fantasy in there as well, and then Shenmue. Are those projects that you think you might see on Microsoft platforms as well?
Well, some of them that are owned by Sony, we would expect not.
Yeah.
But you're right, and they had a great show, and we watch their briefing every year, and it's great to kind of come to E3 and everyone sort of shows all their games and all the new announcements, and there's a lot of fan favorites, and I think they did a great job. At the end, we do a little bit of kind of a geeky scorecard, or we sort of look at, how many games do we show, how many exclusives do we show, how do we kind of stack up, and we both showed 20. What's interesting, we both showed the same amount of games. We both showed 24 games in our briefing. We both showed 11 exclusive titles. We showed 7 exclusives that are coming this holiday, and Sony actually didn't show any that we saw that they confirmed this year.
Yeah.
So I think that was the biggest difference. They showed a lot of games and some fan favorites and some games I'm looking forward to playing as well on their platforms. But for us, we think the big difference is we're delivering the big exclusive games this year. And we'll talk more about 2016 as we kind of move into Gamescom and they're going forward.
And one of the interesting things from your conference was the idea that there are actually quite a lot of Xbox 360 owners who mightn't have transitioned to the Xbox One. Do you think that these are folks who have sort of gone to the dark side? Are these folks who have picked up PlayStation 4s? Or are there actually like latent 360 owners who just haven't bid on the next generation?
Yeah, we look at that pretty closely. I mean, what we know is that today there's tens of millions of Xbox 360 owners. When we do go out and talk to them, they basically tell us they've been waiting for the time and the reason to migrate. And a lot of people have been waiting for the next Halo. A lot of people have been waiting for Gears. A lot of people have been waiting for backwards compatibility. And so we think having all that coming this holiday, we expect we're going to see a massive migration. We expect millions of Xbox 360 owners to migrate and move to Xbox One. And we see the majority of people that buy an Xbox One today own an Xbox 360. So our fan base has stayed very loyal. And frankly, they're waiting for those new releases to come this year. And backward compatibility, would not underestimate how big that will be for them in getting them to move.
Yeah, Aaron, another thing you guys showed off was that you guys are going to be stepping your toe into the early access world, into having games that, it's been a sort of a tough road for Steam, but it's actually proved to be, when it works really well. Can you just talk about how that works and how you guys are going to be able to police that system? Because that's kind of an issue that Valve have had.
Steam's done some great work here with early access, and as we've been working with the independent developers as part of our ID at Xbox program, one of the things we've heard consistently from them is, hey, we want to be able to have something like early access so we can let people play these games early, but one of the learnings we learned is that we want to do this in the right way when we bring it to the console. So our program is called Game Preview. It's officially launched here at E3. And so the way we're doing is we're curating it. So it's not going to be Wild West, just any possible game. We're going to take games that we think fit in that model and are on a path to actual true release. Every single game comes with a trial, so you get to try the game before you buy it. So we're really thinking about the customer experience first and putting our fans first in this way. We're excited. So we've got Dean Hall, who's really sort of the father of this early access, bringing things like DayZ, bringing his new Ion project to Game Preview. We have the folks bringing a number of other titles. And so we've got both Elite Dangerous and the long spacing. Sorry, it's been a long day. We have 2 titles available today up in Game Preview. And so hopefully people go check them out and then, provide feedback to the developers much like they do on the PC today.
Cool. Exciting stuff happening over at Microsoft. Aaron, thank you so much for your time today. I got one more question, because upstairs I was asking people a bunch of, if you had the chance to ask Aaron a question, what would you ask? What's going on with this Steven Spielberg Halo thing?
Steven Spielberg is a huge fan. In fact, he's coming to E3 on Thursday. I understand he comes every year. We have a great partnership with him. At this point, we're not telling people what we're doing, except that the partnership continues, and stay tuned.
All right, he's probably busy with that whole dinosaur thing he was doing on the side, whatever
he has a busier world than just video games, that's for sure.
That's a good point. Aaron Greenberg, thank you so much for coming on.
My pleasure.
Enjoy the rest of your show. Thank you for spending time with us. And thank you for watching. We are still live here on the GameSpot stage. We got a bunch more appointments up. I've only actually got one left, but it's fantastic series, one I've been a fan of since back in the days in 1994, I feel. 98 I think is when I played my first Rainbow Six. I'll be back in a couple of minutes with Siege. Stay tuned.